Welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. Once again, I'm joined by my little Bond Arms Derringer. This is a Rough and Rowdy 45 Colt 410 shotgun shell, and it's tiny. I mean, I can completely cover it with the palm of my hand. It's not the most pleasant thing in the world to shoot. The trigger is about an 18-pound trigger when it's cocked, when the hammer's cocked. This little tiny bird's head grip does not do a lot to hold this thing firmly in your hand. I'm still undecided if I want to get a little bit longer grip for it. This is not a gun I would carry on a daily basis by any means. It's not something I would even carry as a backup typically. I would probably carry my LCP2 and 22 long rifle over this as a backup. But I bought it because it's a novelty gun. I like old westerns. One that sticks in my mind that I remember seeing something similar to this was a Disney movie called The Apple Dumpling Gang. There was a character, Mr. Donovan, who carried one of these. He was a card player and a gambler, and on a couple occasions in the movie he had to pull it out and wave it at somebody because he thought they were trying to rob him, or there was a bank robbery going on and he stood behind a building in the corner and he took 2 shots with his Derringer. So his probably was not a 45 Long Colt 410. It might have just been 45 Long Colt. It might have been, I don't even know what they had back in the 1800s for calibers for these things. It could have been a 22. It could have been just about anything. But this is what I have, 45 Long Colt 410. The cool thing about these, you can buy any barrel for these. They interchange with any frame. So if I wanted to get a 357-38 special barrel, or a 9mm barrel, or a 45 ACP barrel, I could buy one for about 165 bucks. Then I have one that shoots 45 Long Colt 410 or whatever other caliber I want. I thought about getting a 357-38 barrel or a 9mm barrel just to have something that's a little bit easier to shoot than this, but I'm undecided yet. So I have some soda cans set up, and when I first bought this thing, I had a lot of people ask me to shoot at soda cans or soda bottles to show basically the effectiveness, quote unquote, of this particular gun. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. So I'm going to show you at about, I don't know, 6 yards, 5 yards, something like that, what this little tiny gun will do to some soda cans on the ground. They're down there on the ground. You'll see them explode when I hit them. This is a 2-shot. You flip the barrel up to load it and point it away from you. Even though after you've shot it, the shells are empty, it still creeps me out. I never like pointing anything towards myself. So when you open the barrel, point it away from you. I'm starting off with some Winchester AA Super Sport No. 9 birdshot. That's what I'm going to start with, 2 rounds of that. And then I have a mix of some random stuff in my pouch that I'm just going to grab and reload. I have some personal protection buckshot, some, Federal Premium 410 handgun buckshot. I think it's 3 balls. But let's start off with the birdshot and see how this thing does. Moving on to the Federal Personal Protection buckshot. That was less than impressive to me. That was pretty weak in my opinion, so let's try again.
For some reason, I always seem to forget these are only a 2-shot.
That's pretty embarrassing. So now I have a birdshot in the top chamber, which will fire first, and a single slug in the bottom chamber, and let's see if I can do any better. effective at a target at 15 yards. So, conclusion on the Rough and Rowdy. It is not a precise handgun. You can get some decent shots off if you're very patient and very careful with it. The trigger is so stiff that I flinch just about every single time I shoot it. I always forget that it only has 2 shots, so after I fire the 2, I cock the hammer a 3rd time and it clicks because it's only a 2-shot Derringer. Is it effective? I think it's a pretty effective gun. Again, it's not the first one I would ever go to for self-defense or anything like that, but it's reliable. I mean, I've put probably 50 or 60 rounds through it without a single hiccup, and traditionally 410 shotgun shells are pretty reliable anyway, but it's reliable, it's somewhat effective. I was shooting at a target at about 15 yards, and I was shooting at a target at 25 yards. The target at 15 yards with the 3-ball handgun buckshot with a slug and with the birdshot, I was very easily able to get a lot of shots on that. Basically, I put 3 in the head on that target, and I put a bunch in the belly down here in the kidney area. I think that's where your kidneys are. I wasn't that great at physics or physiology or anything like that. And then at 25 yards, I put 1 on that target just because I wanted to see if I could put a slug on the target, and I hit it fairly well. The soda cans, you could see, not very effective at soda cans at 6 or 7 yards. Even the birdshot, the sights on this thing are not that great. If you look down the sight picture, you have a little tiny U-notch in the back right here, and then you have a little tiny front sight. I mean, the front sight's actually not tiny. It's a big sight, but this is not a range gun. This is meant to be a very close quarters belly gun. So if you're 3 feet away, 5 feet away from somebody, and it's your last defense, you whip it out of your jacket pocket and you fire somebody. That's what this is really intended to be used for. Again, I don't think I'm ever going to carry this thing, but it's a heck of a lot of fun to shoot. So thanks for watching Cranky Gun Reviews. Have a great day. God bless America, and support your 2A rights. Because you know what? This is a double-barrel shotgun. So, if you go outside and you fire 2 blasts of this, it'll scare anything away. Anything, Then, if it scares them away, great. If it doesn't, what are you going to do? Well, maybe go grab your AR-15 that has a 30-round magazine, because then you can actually shoot an assailant and hit them. Have a great day.